Hey buddy, they never ran across a person like you. Can you feel it? Every jealous group that dared to target you. Yeah, they're going down piece by piece. Because you weren't built weak. Nah, you were built different. Oh, the fire in your steps. The strength in your silence. It scares them. It breaks them. It destroys them from the inside out. They thought they had numbers, but numbers mean nothing when their foundation is fake. Listen, this is not just another video. This is your moment. Stay locked till the very end, because every second carries a truth they don't want you to hear. And I'm telling you straight, your rise is louder than their jealousy. Your calm is sharper than their rage. Fam, the ones watching this right now, you are the reason these words carry weight. You're the people who turn silence into echoes, pain into power, struggle into legacy. I don't just speak to you, I speak for you. So don't just sit back. Comment your strength below. Drop that super thanks if you feel this energy hitting your chest. And most importantly, stay with me till the last word. Because once you hear it all, you'll never see jealousy the same way again. They thought they knew power. They thought they knew control. But they never ran across a person like you before. That's the brutal truth. For so long they've lived in comfort, moving through life like predators in a cage with no challenge, no rival, no storm strong enough to expose their fragility. They got used to being feared. They got used to their whispers shaping the weak. But then, you appeared. Oh wow. The silence broke the moment your footsteps echoed. The air shifted. And suddenly, all those who once stood tall began to shrink when you walked in the room. Because it wasn't just your presence that bothered them. It was the reflection of their own emptiness staring back at them. Jealousy. That's the word, isn't it? A disease that doesn't scream in the open, but leaks like poison through every crack of their being. Watch their eyes and you'll see it. The twitch when your name is mentioned. The tightening of their jaw when someone praises you. The fake laugh when your victories cut deeper into their insecurities. Yeah, that's the face of jealousy. They hate to admit it, but you've become the reminder of everything they failed to be. And that's why they gather. Small minds can't move alone, they need a crowd. So they cluster like moths drawn to a flame, thinking their numbers can dim your fire. Nah, numbers don't equal strength. A crowd of the bitter doesn't outweigh the weight of one who stands unbroken. So they whisper in corners, spit venom in shadows, throw stones with shaking hands. They paint you as arrogant, dangerous, unpredictable. But deep down, they're terrified. Terrified of the fact that nothing they do dents you. Every scheme, every plot, every dagger they throw just bounces back and leaves them weaker. And what shakes them the most is that you don't even flinch. You don't bend. You don't play their game. Instead, you turn their noise into fuel. You walk taller with every attempt to break you. You rise higher with every strike against you. And that smile, that calm, steady smile, oh, it drives them insane. Because how dare you laugh in the face of their hatred? How dare you refuse to kneel when others before you collapsed? How dare you survive what was designed to destroy you? But here's the irony. In trying to break you, they've only exposed themselves. In trying to paint you weak, they've revealed their own weakness. Their obsession has become their identity. Their jealousy is louder than their truth. And louder still, is your silence. Because silence backed by strength is the kind of weapon they can't fight. Think about it. Every insult they hurl is a confession. Every smear is proof that you've already won. If you weren't a threat, they wouldn't waste a breath. If you weren't light, they wouldn't try so hard to dim you. If you weren't standing above, they wouldn't spend all their energy dragging you down. This is why they fear you. Not because you fight dirty, not because you scream louder, but because you don't even need to touch them to defeat them. You exist, and their mask cracks. You breathe, and their walls crumble. You rise, and their envy consumes them whole. And oh, the mask is cracking fast. Because soon the disease they carry will eat them alive. And when it does, you won't have to lift a single hand. But why? Why does jealousy always destroy its owner first? Because jealousy is not power. It is fear in disguise. That's the truth. Most people don't want to face. They pretend jealousy is strength, as if attacking someone makes them superior. But deep down, jealousy is nothing but weakness wearing a mask. It doesn't roar like courage. It whines like desperation. And the louder it gets, the emptier it proves to be. Oh wow. Isn't it strange? They act like they're in control, but every word they throw at you is proof that you control them. Think carefully. Why else would they waste their time circling you, watching you, mimicking you, dragging your name through their endless gossip? Because you're already the center of their lives. And they hate that truth more than anything else. Yeah, that's the core of it. Jealousy is not born from power. It's born from powerlessness. They don't attack because they're ahead. They attack because they're behind. They don't scream because they're confident. They scream because your silence has already crushed them. And oh, silence backed by strength is louder than any noise they can make. But watch carefully how it unfolds. At first, jealousy looks alive. It's full of energy, full of words, full of schemes. They get together, plotting, laughing, convincing themselves they're winning. But jealousy has no roots. It has no foundation, and so it burns fast. It eats everything in sight, and then it eats itself. Nah, jealousy doesn't last. It can't, because it's fueled by emptiness, and emptiness cannot sustain itself for long. That's why they exhaust themselves. That's why, after all the whispers and all the stabs, they end up weaker than when they began. They didn't hurt you. They only revealed how fragile they are. Here's what makes jealousy so destructive. It doesn't just hate you. It also hates the one carrying it. That's the twisted part. Imagine that. Every time they think of you, their own heart bleeds. Every time you rise, their own chest tightens. Every time your name spreads, their own spirit shrinks. They carry their punishment within themselves. You don't need to strike them down. Their envy does the job for you. And oh, it gets worse. Because jealous people are never satisfied. Today it's you, tomorrow it's each other. Watch them closely and you'll see it. They'll start turning inward, fighting over scraps of attention, snapping at one another because their alliance was never built on loyalty. It was built on bitterness. And bitterness has no loyalty. Here's the cruel irony. In their attempt to bury you, they bury themselves. They don't even notice the dirt piling over their own heads. They're too busy obsessing over you, too busy choking on their own envy to see that they've set the trap for themselves. And what about you? You stand there, calm, focused, moving forward. while their noise fades into static. That's the difference between you and them. They're driven by jealousy. You're driven by purpose. They react to you, but you don't react to them. That's why you keep winning. That's why their downfall is not just possible, it's guaranteed. Because jealousy isn't a weapon. It's a mirror. And when they look into it, they don't see you. They see their failure staring back. But what happens when that mirror finally cracks? When the mirror cracks, their unity shatters with it. That's the moment it all begins to fall apart. At first, they seem so strong, so united, so certain of their alliance. They move like a pack, fueled by their shared envy of you. They nod at each other's lies, they laugh at each other's venom. They tighten their grip as if numbers can turn weakness into strength. But numbers can't hold what was broken from the start. Oh wow. Watch closely and you'll see the cracks spreading faster than they can hide them. The very jealousy that brought them together begins to tear them apart. One looks at the other and wonders, "Why are you getting more attention than me?" Another sneers, "You're not doing enough against them." And suddenly, the smiles vanish, the whispers turn sharp, and the alliance built on envy begins to collapse under its own weight. This is the nature of jealousy. It is never satisfied. It cannot share. It cannot build. It only destroys. And the first thing it destroys is the one who carries it. That's why their group, no matter how loud, no matter how vicious, is doomed. Their unity isn't unity at all. It's desperation dressed as power. And desperation doesn't last. They start questioning each other, doubting, pointing fingers. You're not loyal, you're too weak. You're taking credit for everything. That's when the circle turns in on itself. And once that begins, there's no stopping it. You don't even need to lift a hand. You just stand, steady, silent, letting their own fire consume them. Yeah, here's the irony. They gathered to bring you down, but in truth, they were only gathering fuel for their own destruction. They thought they were hunting you, but you were never prey. You were the test they couldn't pass, the storm they couldn't weather, the mirror they couldn't face without shattering. And oh, the collapse is ugly. The louder they scream, the more their weakness shows. The harder they push, the more obvious it becomes that they've already lost, because no one united by jealousy can stand. It's only a matter of time before the noise turns into silence, the circle turns into fragments, and the group turns into dust. It doesn't break you. It builds you. That's the twist they never saw coming. They thought their jealousy would cut you down, that their venom would sink into your veins and leave you shattered. But the exact opposite happened. Every attack they launched, every insult they spit, every attempt to stain your name, it forged you. Stronger, harder, sharper. Oh, wow. Isn't that something? The very storm they prayed would destroy you became the wind that pushed you forward. Their jealousy was meant to suffocate you, but instead it gave you breath. Their whispers were meant to shrink you, but instead they turned you into something far larger than they ever imagined. That's the irony. In trying to erase you, they carved you into stone. Because here's the truth. Jealousy doesn't shape the jealous. It shapes the one who survives it. Every dagger they threw at you became a piece of armor. Every shadow they cast became a lesson in how to walk in darkness without losing your light. And every fake smile they wore taught you the value of standing alone rather than kneeling in a room full of masks. Yeah, it's brutal. But it's also beautiful. Because while they rot from the inside, you rise from the outside. While their envy eats them alive, your patience makes you unbreakable. They can't understand it. How could they? They don't know what it means to face the storm and come out walking taller than before. They've never stood where you stand now, untouchable, because you've been tested and you didn't bend. Nah, this was never about their jealousy hurting you. It was about their jealousy proving you. That's the secret they'll never admit. You see, anyone can look powerful when no one stands against them. Anyone can act confident when the room claps for them. But only a few can hold their ground when the daggers fly. Only a few can stay calm when the shadows close in. Only a few can take the weight of envy and turn it into fuel. And you're one of those few, and that terrifies them. Because if jealousy only destroys the jealous and builds the target, then every ounce of hate they pour on you only guarantees your rise. Their downfall is your foundation. Their collapse is your stage. Their silence will be your echo. Oh, the mirror burns them. Because when they look at you, they don't just see you. They see themselves, weaker, smaller, less. You've become the reminder of everything they chose not to be. And that reminder eats them alive more than anything you could ever say. And what's left when the mirror burns too hot? What's left when they can no longer run from their own reflection? That's when the breaking point turns into something else. It turns into collapse, the kind that leaves no way back. Jealousy doesn't end with noise. It doesn't end with whispers. It ends with ruins. A jealous group cannot hold itself together because envy has no loyalty, no honor, no backbone. At first, they look like a storm, loud, chaotic, dangerous. But storms don't last forever. They burn themselves out. And when they do, all that's left is silence and wreckage. Oh wow. Watch them closely as the collapse begins. The same mouths that once cheered each other now spit blame. The same hands that once linked together now point fingers. It's your fault. You failed. You didn't do enough. That's how it always unravels. Not with a single blow, but with 1,000 small cuts they give each other. And you don't have to lift a single hand. That's the beauty of it. Their jealousy is their own weapon turned inward. They thought they were circling you, hunting you, but really, they were circling themselves, waiting to devour each other. Nah, they never had unity, only temporary greed disguised as teamwork. Here's the truth. Their collapse was written the moment they chose jealousy over discipline. Because envy doesn't build. It corrodes. It eats away at trust. It gnaws on respect. It poisons every bond until nothing is left but fragments. And fragments don't stand against a storm. They scatter. Yeah, this is the moment you see it clearly. Jealousy isn't just weak. It's self-destructive. Every step they took against you brought them closer to their own destruction. Every dagger meant for your back ended up in their own hands. That's why collapse is inevitable. It doesn't matter how strong they looked at the start. A group bound by jealousy always ends in betrayal, chaos, and silence. And you remain, still standing, still focused, still untouchable. Because their fall doesn't shake you, it fuels you. Their collapse doesn't break your stride, it proves your strength. Their silence after all the noise, that's the loudest victory of all. Oh, and here's the part that burns them even after they've fallen. Even when their group lies in pieces, even when their voices fade into nothing, your name still stands. Your shadow still stretches. Your rise continues without pause. And that's the real punishment. No matter what they did, they could never stop you. And now, oh wow, do you see it? The jealous ones, scrambling, breaking, falling apart. Yeah, they can't hold themselves together anymore, 'cause every arrow they threw at you became your armor. Every lie they spread became your fuel. Nah, they never understood what kind of person you really are. You're not their level. You're not their measure. You're the storm they never planned for, the force they never calculated. Oh, the silence of your power. It's louder than their screams. Listen. This is where you stand tall, fam. Because when this ends, it won't be them talking anymore. It will be you walking forward, unshaken, untouched, unstoppable. And let me tell you, the world is watching, and the story is yours to write. To everyone who stayed till the end, you're the reason this fire keeps burning. Your energy, your time, your comments, your super thanks, they're not just support. They're proof that voices like ours can't be silenced. So here's the truth. Their jealousy was their downfall, but your strength was the victory. Carry that with you. Carry it forever. Because once they fall, the only thing left standing is you.